Hello everyone and welcome to a super special episode of Hard Mode Leveling Guide. As you know, the Legion invasion has started, and it started in several places on eastern and western Azeroth, in Azshara, in Northern Barrens and in Tanarese, as well as in Hillsbrad, Lochmodden and Stranglethorn Vale. Basically, if you this specifically is near Stranglethorn Vale, and the fastest way to get there is a blimp. Also, the fastest way to get to Hillsbrad is a blimp to Undercity. Other places near Azshara is just the Gate of Orgrimmar, and Tanarese and Dunmorrow is, well, you just have to fly out there. So what are invasions? Well, these are basically the precursor to the Legion patch, which is coming up. And basically, when you enter one of these zones, you will get this message that a stage has started. Each invasion can take up to a couple hours, which doesn't mean that's how long you have to do it. Once you start it, you basically start it with a group of people that's already there. So it could take, once you've started it, about maybe 10-15 minutes. Stage 1 is when the alien spaceship, which you cannot board, by the way, I tried and just fell down and died. It starts launching down all kinds of lower level demons, most of them non-elites. You can take them down quite easily. Now the cool thing about this is that it is scalable. So I think from level 10 and onwards you can start doing this and basically get a super nice gear for just doing these invasions. There are 2 invasions every 3 hours or so. And as far as I understand, it's going to get closer and closer. And during the 4 stages of the invasion, you can raise about 1 level, which is incredible. Now, not only that, you raise 1 level and you get really nice gear, and you get shards, which you can use to buy other gear. Now, in my case, since I started these invasions at around level 70, and well, basically leveled up to level 80 with them, I've just decided to save all the boxes for when I'm level 100, because then you get item level 700 out of it. So that cuts a ton of time out of your cap level, and you can start doing PvP or end content right off the bat. I right now have a bag full of about 20 chests of every version. I'll talk about this a bit more later. Anyway, so you can see the bar going up as long as people are killing these demons. The bar is going up and the stage ends. You get more XP if you take down one of these demons on your own. One thing to note, which I kind of failed at the beginning, is to make sure you are not in PvP mode. Now, this could be due to just being in a battleground or doing a PvP quest or whatever, but basically there are a bunch of level 100s which come in PvP enabled and just snipe you down over and over and over, and that just sucks, you know? I mean, it's hard enough finding these demons. Okay, we're in stage 2. In stage 2 there are basically 3 mini bosses, 2 sub-commanders and 1 commander. You will see everyone just flying together to get them, and you should really take care of your AoE, as they hit for about 55% of your maximum life. So in my case, I just go in with Feint, which reduces it by 30%. You can see these shockwaves. These ones actually are not as hard. They hit for about 10% of your life. So with your Feint you should be quite alright. Always let the person who is tanking get the aggro first, because although you are low level, you will see that the monster's life is scaled to yours. So if you deal the maximum amount of damage that you can, whether you're level 11 or level 95 or level 100, it doesn't matter, because it's a percentage, and if you start the fight, then you can get wiped. Now, this is the final boss of this stage. You should be aware of his tail, and you will see indications on the ground that that he is going to make an AoE attack. So be aware of that. Try to stand on his side. If there's a big group, he'll go down fast. Otherwise, you should try to get in with a group. If you have a guild or something like that, take a healer, and that will make sure that you will survive this. There's a higher likeliness that you'll survive. Otherwise, if you die, you just respawn at the nearest graveyard. That is in the boss's fight, and in the other stages you will have to walk to your corpse, which is annoying, but basically you prepare to die a lot if you come alone to these encounters. Now, in stage 3, if you open your map, you will see all kinds of bosses and gates, and for each of these bosses and gates you get shards. So as you can see, these big bubble heads pop up and these big gates pop up. The gates have green shards around them that when you take down, open a door, then you go in, kill the boss, and get like 15 shards. The bosses are about 7 to 8 shards a pop, depending on how much damage you've done. In this case, I was still kind of figuring out what's going on with these invasions and feeling a bit squishy, so I went for like local mini bosses. But later on I realized that fighting the boss will give you extra shards, so I decided to stick with these bosses from that point onwards. You have to be careful with these ones, as they do deal a shitload of damage and a ton of AoE damage. The NPCs of the opposing factions will not attack you while there is a legion invasion, so you don't have to fear them in terms of PvP. Only other players which are also marked for PvP. There are several types of bosses. I don't really see the point of getting into the mechanics of each. I'll just let you enjoy it, everyone. This one, for example, just stacks debuffs on you, and then you die. Okay, so in this case I was quite close to the hill, so I spawned like a graveyard, like a battleground graveyard, which was like a 5-second spawn. If you're too far away, you will spawn in a different graveyard, and then you'll have to walk. The last phase, the 4th phase, is always in the main area. So in the Northern Barrens it will be the Crossroad, and in Azshara it will be the Gate of Orgrimmar, and in Dunmorrow it will be Kronos, and here it will be Sentinel Hill. So, and in Tanneries it will be in Gadgestan. So in the final fights you will always be fighting and rezzing quite quickly, so don't worry about that. Be prepared to spend some money on repairing your items, but totally worth it. As you can see, there are demolishers here, and in this case a siege tank, but in Azshara, for example, you will get demolishers, and you can ride these into battle if you prefer. I think there is something really beautiful about the whole dynamic of these events. I don't know how Blizzard planned it, but the fact is that people just fly out all together to meet the bosses. And I think it's just, if you ever seen the movie Flight of Dragons, then this will touch your heart. Literally, this is just so much fun. At the end of the encounter, there will be merchants which sell stuff for the shards that you get. With these shards, you can buy either level 700 gear, which is rings and necklaces and demon weapons, which are not very useful for you. And you can also buy item enhancements for items that you have already got. And you can also buy transmog sets, which are bound on account. So if you've done a bunch of these invasions and you have an alt which wears mail or plate, then you can buy this. And send it to your other characters as a transmog gear. As you can see, I'm already level 82. I have not really been in North End. I have just been doing these invasions. They are so much fun. I've done a couple with my guildies. I've done a couple of them alone, and definitely waiting to get to level 100 where I can come in and as PvP and start hitting back. Final boss is different on each encounter. In this encounter, this boss does a ton of AoE damage. You can see it on the ground, so it's quite easy to notice, but it's quite big, so it's hard to run away from. Prepare to die a lot. There's no way you're gonna get any aggro here. These fights take a little while. This boss hits with his tail, also has a frontal AoE, and also has an AoE that is underneath his belly, which is like a bunch of rotating swords, so beware of that, get out of that. Don't worry if you die. If you die, you can always buy some potions and bandages from the captured demon that is here at the end of the encounter, and that will help you with the next encounter. The rage, I don't remember if it's the rage potion. There is a potion which increases your damage, adds fire damage to your abilities. It only works here. It's got like a 30-minute lifespan, so in 30 minutes it's gone from your bag. You cannot use any of that stuff in battlegrounds. I've tried. I haven't tried using it in instances. I've not done many of them. Anyway, doesn't matter which level you are, I would suggest doing a bunch of these invasions. They're super fun. There's really nice rewards for them, and well, you know, enjoy the occasional wipe here and there as well. You can see that these bosses hit for like 55-60% of your health, so there's no really way to avoid this, and yeah, just have fun with it. Now, as far as I know, there really isn't an indicator except for the amount of shards for how much damage you've done. So in my case, when I felt too squishy, I just threw some daggers. I used my kind of ranged ability, then used evasion and feint to shadow step, put all my dots in, and run the fuck out of there. As for achievements, you get Stand Against the Legion, which is finish an invasion, and then you have an achievement for doing all 6 versions of the invasions, and you have to do that before it goes live. After you finish one, check for the next one on your map. They will only be in Eastern and Western Azeroth. They won't be in North End or Pandaria or anywhere else like that. Not now, anyway. Nothing drops from these demons, just a bunch of shards and a bunch of experience. And yeah, I think this is a super fun way to kind of level out stuff before the expansion goes live. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment and subscribe. RogueFluff out.